How about the night for Lewis Central's Brody Patlin? 5 touchdowns and a win over Glenwood. Brody, I mean, man, you got to be on cloud 9 right now. Just what are the thoughts?
I thought, when I got a chance on the field, I show them what I'm made of. I'm showing my actual starter on the field, and I'm positive about the outcome today. And we still made a lot of mistakes, but we still did good and got the dub today.
I know Coach KMA, when I talked to him a minute ago, he mentioned at the start of the year you were maybe number 4 on the depth chart. For you now to get this opportunity and to have the performances that you're having, what does that say about the work that you put in? How gratifying is it?
Putting in the work, I grinded every day. I got to show them what I'm made of when I get the opportunity on the field, and just show off.
Offensively, I mean, you were a big part of the success tonight. Take us through kind of your thoughts on what the offense did well.
The offense did great on blocking. We still have a little bit of mistakes, but we'll improve next week and show what we're made of.
Almost 200 yards on the ground. I mean, what were you seeing? Talk about the vision that you had when you got the ball.
I didn't see any holes, but my line did great on blocking. I just got to do my own thing, show what I made on the field.
Go ahead and give a shout out. Who were the guys paving the way?
From our team? Yeah. Garrett, and the other running back, Caleb. He's pretty good and he's great at blocking. So shout out to him.
When I saw that you were kind of the RB1, so to speak, knowing kind of your background from track, I was like, all right, probably kind of a shifty, flashy runner. Not that you don't have speed, of course, but I mean, you really seemed like had success after contact and get your shoulders low. Talk about your running style.
Track and football is 2 different things. You gotta track's just speed, and football is more of just speed and agility. Yeah.
So talk about how you try to have success on the ground.
I just had to do my own thing. Do good cuts. Made sure I'm all right. There's still a little bit of mistakes I made, but on the outcome, it was pretty good, so I did great.
How big of a team win is this?
It was pretty big. This is our biggest district win right now. Yeah.
What's the approach going forward?
We just hope to win our district and get all these dubs for the district.
Awesome. Thank you. Here at Lewis Central, quarterback Brady Hetzel after his team's win over Glenwood. Brady, overall just looked like an efficient night for the offense and a nice win over a good team. Tell me about tonight and the thoughts on the win.
Yeah, last week I think we kind of struggled up front, just making plays, turnovers. So we had to come out, have a clean game, and I think up front we did pretty good job. Patlin had 5 touchdowns, so yeah, the line did great. Everybody around us did great. Just one mess up on my part. Just hopefully clean it up for next week and go win another week.
Tough game last week against a really good team. How much of a learning opportunity was last week, and what did this week look like getting ready for this matchup?
Yeah, it's tough going 2 hours and playing a really talented team. We just had too many turnovers and kind of added fuel to the fire for this week's game, and so yeah.
The offense was really efficient through the first 6 or 7 drives. You're obviously kind of the engineer of that. Speak to what the offense was able to do well.
Yeah, defense got turnovers. We just had to execute, and we got really good field position, and we just executed in the run game, and I scrambled a few times and found receivers, and everything just worked out. So.
I know you mentioned the pick 6 that you'd like to have back, but aside from that, it was a really good night passing for you. What are kind of your thoughts on what was working?
Yeah, just getting good reads, good blocks up front, comfortable in the pocket and, rolling out, just comfortable on the run, and yeah.
Game 5 for you now is QB1. Speak to the growth you felt you've made maybe from that first game against Harlan to where we are now.
Yeah, everything's slowed down a lot. Harlan first week was really, really fast, and I feel like as each week goes on, everything slows down a little bit.
Looking ahead, 3-2, got a district win under your belt. What's kind of the approach going forward?
Just, celebrate this one and go win next week, so win every week.
All right, Coach, a nice bounce back and a nice win against a good Glenwood team. Just overall, what are kind of the thoughts and takeaways from tonight?
Really proud of our guys. Like you said, responded well to some adversity that we had. And our defense, really set the tone for us tonight. They're really opportunistic with getting some interceptions, some turnovers, which is really key for us, which is huge for us, to be able to get some short fields, to be able to get some points on the board, to put a little bit of pressure on them, get them out of the run game a little bit, force them to pass a little bit more than maybe that they wanted to. And, and then offensively, we were clicking pretty well there. I wish we had a couple of drives back, one of those throws back at the end of towards the end of the game. And, and we'll continue to get better. We're nowhere near where we need to be. We definitely have gotten better. Those first 4 weeks really tested us and challenged us, made us realize what we need to get better at and what we need to improve upon. And, so just extremely proud of our players and our coaches.
I know Brady's going to want that pick six back, but, aside from that, it was a pretty kind of cerebral night for him. What can you say about what he did?
He's just continuing to grow in that position. We really believe in him. We trust in him. We know that there's, the turnovers, we got to continue to fix those and work on those. He just made a mistake, but what he does do is he gives us a chance every time he's back there, whether it's throwing the ball or whether he's running. He extends plays, he finds guys downfield, and he does what he needs to do. And he's a competitor. I know he's not happy about it, but he did play a really good night tonight, be able to distribute the ball to so many different guys, and be able to execute our offense like we know. He's in a tough spot, coming in for a guy that started for 3 years and to step in this role, and he's doing well, and we just got to continue, for him to get better.
How about the night for Brody Patlin? 5 total touchdowns. What can you say about what he did?
It's simply amazing. That's just a tribute to his hard work, his discipline, his work ethic. Coming into the season, he was our number 4 running back. Due to some injuries and that kind of stuff, he slowly has elevated himself, and he's accepted the challenge. I think he's very, very raw. You look at him tonight and what he did a really good job, but I think hasn't touched the tip of the iceberg for him, and I think there's a lot more to him. And so, he had a really, really good night. Got to credit the offensive line for what they did to be able to open some holes. Our wide receivers blocking on the perimeter. It's a lot more than just one guy out there. So great for him, but really good for our offense.
You kind of hinted earlier, the defense forces 5 turnovers, had that kind of run of, bang, 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 and take advantage of short fields. Tell me about the defense tonight.
Yeah, you know what? We just challenged them and just said, hey, you need to be opportunistic. You need to get some turnovers. We always stress it. We work it in practice. We talk about it constantly. We talk about pregame. It's one of those things that we have to ensure that happens. Unfortunately, we've had our share of it, and so we got to try to get ourselves on the positive side with getting the ball. And our guys were just in position tonight. We really were able to get some pressure on the quarterback, force him to throw the ball up a little bit, and our guys were able to come down with it. So really happy for those guys, too.
3-2. You think back to a couple years ago, and I know every year is different. You guys were in a very similar spot. How do you, as a coach, maybe kind of learn from the experiences of the last couple of years?
Yeah, we talked to our guys a little bit about that. We weren't in uncharted territory, but we were starting to feel it a little bit. That this is a big one. Not only is it Glenwood, we know that we understand how big the rivalry is, but it's the district opener, and putting yourself 2-2 in non-district, sort of sets yourself up for you don't know what's going to happen, and so you got to ensure that you're playing your best every single week in this district. This district is tough. It's going to be a grind for us, but as long as we keep working and getting better and trusting the process, I think we'll get better each week, and we got a lot of room for growth with this team. But we reflected a little bit on 2 years ago and what happened, and our guys were never panicked.